What's up, guys? This is World Thrift Live, episode 15. Tonight we're coming to you live from Pipe Dream, St. Pete, here in our beautiful city. It's actually one of the top tier smoke shops in the world, one of the top 25. Tonight we're going to be talking with Nicholas Crespo. We're going to be talking about the consumer, understanding the consumer, and also the connoisseur level of a consumer. So Nick, why don't you go ahead and dial in, and we'll get Nick over here.
All right. Hello, Nick. Hey, it's Nick. We're actually going to be dialing up to dial in right now. Okay, so go ahead, come on aboard. Come on aboard.
Welcome, Mr. Crespo.
Welcome in.
Welcome, sir. We've been looking forward to this.
Totally.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Nicholas Crespo. I'll let him just give his intro real quick, and then we'll kind of just dive in from there.
So this is like a more so like boutique style gallery. I think we're about 6 years. This is like kind of the level of execution that we have right there. Kind of focusing on like the connoisseur. That's like definitely what I wanted to touch on today, and what that means to me, and like maybe the level of awareness that we're about to hit, and then we'll call like the green rush coming up in the next 10 years. So that's what I'm like really excited about to go over tonight.
Cool. And then can you just introduce yourself? And
Yeah, totally.
just a little bit about yourself, age, where you're from.
Yeah, so I'm about to be 32. I'm actually a IBEW unit electrician by trade. Just having to like hang some lights here, and then 6 years later, like figuring it out.
You went to school at USF, right?
No, I went to Bogey, and then like we would go through like a union apprenticeship.
Okay,
So I went
cool.
through like 10,000 hours of training or something crazy to be an electrician. So that kind of gives me like maybe a background in understanding like the concept of construction and like what goes into like these pipes. So I also like blow glass as well, so it kind of gives me like a fundamental understanding of like the components, time, overhead, and materials, and like scarcity that's involved with like each one of like the brands that we represent. Some of them are like on a very, very extreme level, like this guy right here, this is like a very early piece by two pivotal artists in like our industry. Has like a bunch of mixed media involved in it.
Now this is a really cool piece. So go ahead and just show them what this specifically is. It's like a bird, and tell them what it's made out of.
So the whole thing is a glass sculpture. It's hollow. It's functional. You're gonna smoke out of it. The fittings right there. Also incorporates from the other artists like a copper coating, which adds to like the media content. Has like a chain, so there's like a little bit of like culture involved right there. This is probably like one of my absolute favorite pieces. We're actually not selling this one right now. We're just gonna keep it. Really coveted piece.
I think so.
And then we've got a whole line. Go ahead and grab another one.
Yeah,
Go ahead
totally.
and grab another one.
So this one is by Whitney Harmon. It's gonna focus on like a crushed opal encase. So
What do you mean by crushed opal?
So
What
that
is
you can lab grow synthetic opal to encase in the glass. It's backed by like a black colored glass, so it really
Okay.
pops there.
Okay.
So has like different refractive aspects. Really, really beautiful. There's also like a striping pattern that's overlaid over itself. This is like really, really technical piece, and the fact that it's like the shape is like really defined to be very something specific. This artist is like really known for. This is like
Right.
the signature vessel.
Right, and it's kind of like it gives it more of like a sparkly look, like right on the black. That's really cool.
So like the the availability and like something like this, like
You're probably not gonna find that many.
no. Yeah. This
Okay.
is one of a kind, and as like we have like the Gucci flip flops, I believe like the future of awareness is like you're gonna be smoking out of one of these guys as well.
Right. So just the sheer supply of what you have for each piece is very important.
Right.
Very important.
So along with like maybe some of like these like really like in demand artists, there's like this collectability aspect that I think is like kind of like redundant in maybe your industry as well. Like maybe like the shoe scene, I think it like all of these like same people are all actually the same connoisseur, you know.
Yeah.
And
So basically, is that the people that are buying these pieces are the same people that are buying our clothes, the same people that are, you know, just rocking the lifestyle.
Yeah.
You know, and so we're just together, you would say, Nick?
right, and I think as like the lifestyle is induced and more on the culture, we're gonna see more of like the endowment, the wearable aspect of it. So this is like
Right,
a
so you gotta
Mike,
show 'em that.
yeah, Mike Gong Gateson pendant. You know what I mean? Like, so there's like one of these. You can only get one. This is it. You can buy this or not, and
Right.
that's your opportunity to order to have like this Sugar Skull collab by these two artists. I think like when you are walking around and you're smoking out of your $10,000 pipe, you kind of have like want to show that kind of like level of appreciation. I think
Yeah.
we really saw that at Complex Con this last weekend. That was like a big part.
I don't know
of
if
it.
any of y'all went to the Complex Con, but listen up.
Yeah.
Listen up.
I think like as we have platform branding, we're gonna see these like ways of like executing it. Like one of my favorite things was Nos dropped the Cadillac all diamond out, man. Like that was like cross platform, you know what I mean? So it was really exciting. So I think we're gonna see a lot of that. You're gonna have like these pipes that you could be real proud of, or you're gonna be practicing wearing these pieces with it. Like Azul, this is like probably one of my favorite artists. He has like this like Basquiat type aspect to it, so I'll show you that. Has like this like mouse spray painting a skull. You know, basically I had to like Google Translate with this artist to be able to get this. I buy pretty much all of the work because I know that when people are aware of this, like this kind of like culture infusion, you gotta understand this man doesn't speak English, but is able to like channel like this neo-expressionism in like a very distinct, clear way. It's really gonna be a matter of awareness before you're able to like smoke out of like something like that, you know. So this is like kind of like a street art style scene, which I think is indicative of like kind of like some of the current fashion aspects. So there's like a Basquiat kind of feel. You have like the crown. This one's pretty exciting.
It's really cool. It's really cool stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of different designs, a lot of different artists. I mean, there's a new wave of things as far as people coming in, and what did we call it earlier? The green rush.
Yeah,
The
totally.
green rush.
Yeah.
You know, if I like walked over there, we could go look at the raw papers where we have like Wiz Khalifa endorsing them. I think that we're gonna see a ton of endorsements in the next like 10 years as we move towards this like bridge of like culture shock to this like medical aspect. And then this is really just like a device that translate, you know. This is something that where you're gonna self-medicate, where you're gonna do it out of like this is like Quest Glass Power Pack collab. Probably definitely one of my favorites in the shop. Love this piece. You know, this is like a dry you could be really proud of to like show your friends at the party. And
you also glass blow yourself.
Yeah, I do blow glass. You know, because like you got to understand a very basic level of how things are made. Here's like a Snodgrass. You know.
He's gonna go through all of
I
that.
bet. It's incredible. There's so much.
I might have Gucci cards. They come out.
These are like really like one-off pieces. You know. I feel like once the level of awareness is there, you won't be able to go back to your gas station pipe.
Yeah.
And
that's
So what we're getting at here, just in general, and again, what we're trying to do with this segment is because you guys have seen us talking with other vintage resellers, talking with different stores, talking about fashion. What we're getting at here by reaching out to Nick, who's in the glass industry, who's in the smoke industry, who's in the heady as opposed to the hype industry. And no matter what industry you're in, we've got Christian here as well. He's a good friend of ours in AOK too. He does music, so within the music industry, whatever you're doing within business, it's understanding your consumer, understanding what they want, and now within this new age, we're coming to a point where the consumer is becoming now a connoisseur. So you're going from saying, you know, back in the day, people had one pair of work shoes and they had one pair of shoes to wear out. people now have a different pair of shoes for every single day. People have a different pair of shoes for every single day of work. People have different colors, different brands, certain clothes that they wear. People are adapting, they're wanting more, and so with that,
Right.
it's understanding
Absolutely.
the consumer, what they want, and adapting to it. So it's being able to give them what they want and provide them with that full service.
I think like you know, like the exemplification of new age counterculture is functional art, and
Functional art. That's a
functional
great way to
art, you know,
describe it.
and having something that's like indicative and expressive of like
Show them this piece right
who
over
you
here
are.
on the end. Show them that.
So this is like oh my gosh.
So this is all glass, right?
Yeah, this is all glass. This is like a pattern based work.
Okay.
So this is actually
It's almost got like that paint splatter, like
No,
right
that's
on the
what
back.
it-
That's
yeah.
exactly what it is. Okay, it's
Yeah.
a paint splatter. That's so cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool. That's really cool. That's so dope. That's so dope. You know, I mean, pipe making. Come on, step over here. So pipe making is really just like it's just another art form, and it's something that Nick's been doing for quite some time. So how many years have you been doing this?
well, I've been running this shop for about 5 or 6 years now. I've been blowing glass for like 2 years now. I think we're like at a really focused point with understanding like where we are participating in our local industry and where we hope to be on more of like a worldly level, you know.
Yeah.
But also understanding that like you know, some of these glass artists like are collaborating with very predominant people within like the fashion industry already,
Yeah.
you know, and it's just like it's a matter of awareness, and it's a time factor before we like see it in our face. And like it's been really cool to be there and like kind of like focusing now and having like a good curatorship,
Right.
really picking some winners, I think, and like kind of like sticking with them.
Right. Oh, absolutely.
Some are like running with them. Here's
Absolutely.
like probably like one of my absolute favorite pieces. This is like a banjo
This is sick.
Joe P. Dragon, you know, like, so there's like 60 of these, you know, something like this I'd want it at like $8,000 or $9,000 for.
$8,000 or $9,000. This
Yeah,
is not
yeah,
a cheap piece. But where else are you gonna find this? Again,
Well, you're
it's-
right. So like the one artist is the most in-demand artist in the world. You know,
How did you describe it earlier? It's
the exemplification of new age counterculture is functional art.
functional art. Functional art. Functional art. So actually, I want to take you more of like a give you an idea here. Okay, so I actually want to show you the Pipe Dream shop. So Nick, if you can actually talk about Pipe Dreams. So we're actually in Pipe Dreams. Okay, so we've got quite a bit of going on in Pipe Dreams. So talk to us a little bit about Pipe Dreams.
So the Pipe Dreams brand is really focused on like the forefront of like a digital presence. So we have like at Pipe Dreams St. Pete on Instagram. You know, definitely plug you there, give it the follow. That'd be great. Focus on maybe like representing anywhere from like hardcore from 50 to about like 500 different artists. I think we're up at this point. It's like quite a bit, but like I'm pretty sure I could tell you a little bit about each of them at this point.
Do you mind if we give them a run through of the shop?
Yeah, no, go ahead. We could focus like over
All right,
here.
guys, we're gonna flip this around real quick and kind of just run you around the shop. I think you have to close it.
Okay. All right, so I'm gonna start over here.
Yeah.
Alright, so this is the back of the store.
Right. So this is like probably you know basically the store split into like 2 halves to make sure that we could facilitate this half with another half. But this is like probably more of the focused body of work. This is like sick glass. This is I brought up this piece earlier. This is like a really cool one. So it's like a sculptural aspect to it where it has like the totem. Then there's like the crushed opal, which we talked about earlier. But it also incorporates like a lot of other work. This is like
So what is it? What kind of piece is this?
we'll call this like a chaos style of work.
Okay.
I actually have a personal relationship with like pretty much everybody in this case at this point. That's been like something that's been like really important to me. Sweetie.
And there's 2 sides to this as well.
This is like probably definitely my favorite artist is Azul Glass from Japan.
Look at that. Look at those eggs.
Yeah,
You want 'em
those are fused
scrambled?
glass.
You want them sunny side up.
Yeah,
Look
he's
at
got
that.
some incredible looking stuff.
Look at that. See, that's cool. That's cool. Okay, so take us to the next spot.
So we're gonna turn around, and then there's like the rest of this like American-made functional glass art, and also a lot of wearables. There is like a lot of wearables.
Remember, people, it's functional art. That's what we're going for.
Yeah, absolutely. And then if you walk over there, it's kind of like the more of like the evolving side we're always going. But this is like the water pipe side, kind of more of like the more affordable aspects. We have like an e-cigarette area, and then
And you'll also do CBD as well. right?
absolutely, yep. And then we have like you guys right there, which is to the left with the World Thrift.
And for those that don't know, we actually retail right out of Pipe Dreams as well. So yeah, World Thrift, we are here. And we are here to stay. Look at this. Look at this. We can't say that.
Life is full of important choices.
So yeah, we're actually here. And so we're all trying to just bring this whole culture together. Basically what we're saying, the person buying your pipes and buying your clothes and and so on and so forth. It's all the same person. We're all trying to live this lifestyle. I love the functional art concept. But yeah, this is actually cool.
I think it's like a matter of awareness, and like the person that appreciates you going out there thrifting, kind of having that like trained eye. You're doing that for me, you know. You went to the bends for me, and a lot of the times when you get me something that's on here, like yo, this is for you. I know it's for you. That reversible, so good. And I think like that translates over there. The person that comes in and they buy like their first rig for me for $100, and that's like the color speaks to them, and then they're moving on to like maybe more poised buy. You know, it maybe takes you a week, 2 months. It takes all year to get to that purchase. But
Right.
like when you go home, you know, it's like a sacred relic from antiquity.
Right.
Right.
So
Right.
good.
So,
Here.
C. Lewis is actually down here from LA, and so kind of like give us an idea of what the culture is like up there. I mean, functional art, the glass pieces. We know it's recreational over there. So how are people doing it up over there?
I mean, honestly, and just being honest, I mean, the shops that I've been in and out of, the type of quality, I don't think is quite, either people don't get it in the place I'm going, but I haven't seen quality glass like I've seen recently. I see it in like 4%, but I think that's just because you're not the spots and stuff.
Right.
That'd be fair to say.
Right.
But what I've seen so far has just been a bunch of just touristy, just scrap.
Kind of like, okay, I see what you're saying.
And,
Yeah.
and the quality shops that are functional art pieces, I think are really, I just don't know.
Matter of awareness, and like as there's less stigma involved with how we perceive the planet, you know what I mean? We're moving to where there's gonna be backed by celebrities, you know what I mean? There's gonna be a movement for brand awareness within this industry.
We already see that. We were talking about. Like we were talking about earlier, Nick, Wiz Khalifa having his own, strain name.
Right, like the first portable thing I had for concentrate was Snoop Dogg from G-Pet. I think everyone had a
Remember
G-Pet.
I had that?
I remember when you had
Everyone
that.
had a G-Pet. Let's go back. So I think that we're gonna have this like sense of entrepreneurship with these artists where they're gonna have these like focused brands, you know, and that you're gonna have these glass artists that aren't gonna get to keep up with the demand once the awareness is there. I'm
Right.
excited for that. I'm excited to have these existing relationships and really be able to like put these pieces, because like if you want something, you're not gonna get it.
Like
It's
we-
already like that.
Right.
If you
Right.
like.
So with this green rush, right? Basically, remember the gold rush? Everybody moved out west, try to get gold because they heard gold was there. Green rush is here. I know Nick does a great job of staying ahead of the times. I mean, Jesus, you guys started what, 6 years ago?
Yeah, I think
6 years ago. 6 years. The 6th year, and so it's all about urgency. It's something that Pipe Dreams has, is to get out there because again, the competition the competition is fierce. Oh, absolutely.
I think that if you're gonna want to get these pieces by these artists, you're gonna need to get with somebody with an established relationship and to have a curated base of material where you can come in and like purchase something and feel confident with that purchase and then like grow with it.
So almost like a collaboration, would you say?
Absolutely. It's like
Collaboration with the artists.
yeah. It's just it's a lot of like focus merit, you know.
Yeah.
And like I'm excited to offer like people I can really stand behind, especially because like I really have like a personal relationship I think with like almost every artist now.
Right. Right.
On a real level, you know, either I'm staying with them or I'm gonna go to a class with them or
Right.
taking a class from them.
Are we allowed to talk about the event in March?
No,
Not yet. Not yet.
No.
There is a something great that's happening
Yeah.
in March that we're planning. We can't go into too much details, but there is something that we're
so
cooking
you
in the
know,
works.
yeah, and then like that's like as far as awareness goes is like the biggest like glass in general like group like festival will be in St. Petersburg, Florida at the very end of March, and we will have like 3 consecutive days of like a displayed body of work. There'll be like no better time to be in St. Petersburg, Florida for functional glass art and in general like glass art.
And these artists are pretty well known. So
Yeah, I mean like people will be flying from all around the world.
that's crazy.
Yeah,
That's-
that's really cool.
They're very good artists, but definitely stay tuned. Again, follow at Pipe Dreams.
Yep.
And then, of course, stay up to date with what we're posting because we're definitely going to be posting about that. Just to remind everybody that there is some great things coming to Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So real quick, just to kind of draw the comparison and again to create that connection. So what Nick's saying with all of this, with understanding the consumer, with the functional art, I believe in today's society. First off, let's go in the functional art. Back in the day, everyone wanted to buy an art piece hanging in their home. Appreciate that. People have more time then. You're having guests over. They're able to appreciate that. Now people are on the go so much. It's about the wearable, the functional art, like you're saying.
Yeah.
So with Nick, it's okay. People can't come over and maybe appreciate one of these pieces so often, so he can wear one of the pennants to show that connection and that he has the appreciation for that. Nowadays, I feel like people aren't sitting around listening to records so much anymore. They don't have the time. So like a cool new way to show appreciation for bands, it's always been around, but people love the band tees now.
Right.
All that kind of stuff. And then like with music even, people aren't just buying records, people aren't just going to concerts. There's the collaborations with sneakers going on. So there's all sorts of ways to support the makers. And another thing Nick was talking about that's important, I think, now is people don't so much want to be buying from the big names anymore. People don't like buying from PacSun. People don't like buying from,
my favorite place to buy is from Etsy. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like I wanna
from a maker, from someone or it's having that connection. It's funny because when we were growing up, we were buying sneakers off our friends, and now we're essentially doing that, just someone across the world.
Right.
So I think knowing the maker is important. People like having that connection, and then it also adds that personal shopping. Like when you're saying, like when I'm out in the thrifting, it's like I found this for you.
Right.
It had to go to you.
Right.
So people like that, and that's there. And then with that, as people build their brands, like Nick's saying, you almost want to get in early so that you even have access at all.
Absolutely.
Because when someone starts a page and they have 500 followers and you're starting to like their vision, it might be a good time to reach out and buy a piece when it's very affordable. Start building that relationship as their following grows, as their pieces increase. Same with vintage, same with music, anything. They still know you as that one person who bought that first piece for 20,
Absolutely.
second for 60, third for 300. So your purchasing goes up, their selling goes up, their following goes up, but you're still keeping that relationship. Whereas if you didn't reach out to them and you waited, you might not get a response at some point. Some of these thrift pages, you might message them to buy an item and they don't even respond. They have 40,000 followers or whatever, so you just have to go to the website.
Right.
And that's just a whole part of it. And I think another thing that I wanted to touch on, it kind of goes into it, is the levels of purchasing and buying, and building up from a $20 purchase to a $1,000 purchase. So a lot of people, sometimes they'll come to our pop-ups, they're skimming through the clothes and they're like, $80 for this Rolling Stones t-shirt, and I'm like, yeah, that's how much that one is. We also have a $40 one, and we also have a $10 one. There's different levels. There's reprints, there's originals, the date, the age, how rare it is, and same thing with Nick. Same thing within this industry. Your first smoke purchase that you ever make, I think for us, was an $8 aluminum pipe.
Right.
And
Graduating to the gas station one.
Right,
And then graduating
now
to
Nick
the water
makes them
bike.
for me. Now it's knowing the maker. He's personalizing it for me, adding that. Oh, I know this will appeal just to Sonzi. So it's growing. You know, as you grow as a connoisseur.
But you can't go back. Once
Right.
you have that level
Yeah.
of awareness, you can't go
Yeah.
back to your
And the
$10 pipe.
personalization
Right.
raises it to a different set. Like even
Absolutely.
with Hunter S. Glass, when you took care of me with that piece out in California,
Absolutely.
like super specific to exactly what I was asking for.
Hunter killed that piece.
Except for the
Yeah.
cost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but dude, yeah, and like also something I want to say about the pendants. Like as far as accessorizing, there's only so much that anybody can do. It's coming to this new evolution where like they got the gold, they got the chains and everything. And like in the any industry, like in the hip hop industry, whatever. Like I think a new flex that's going to come out is going to be this new pendant. Like,
Absolutely.
This original piece that isn't just gold in color. Like there's all these different. There's less art within that, and there's more like the gold.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
gotta.
It's gonna
The
tie.
vision's there,
It's
brother.
gonna
It's
tie in
coming.
within it.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be part of that.
Right.
You'll have the chain, but you'll have it with a little like I don't know. I could see.
Yeah,
like,
no, the beads right there, brother.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, totally within that. That'd be way, and that's way cooler to have. Like I think.
And we've
personalized.
even seen it where they mix the cultures, where they're wearing a pennant on the
Right.
gold. With,
Right,
slum
Yeah.
gold.
The Slum Gold and
That's kinda
Ski
what-
Mask
yeah.
definitely incorporate a lot of that in
Right.
other media.
But yeah, I totally feel what Christian's saying, because it's getting to the
Yours-
point
this
now
is,
where
like,
like
definitely one of my
rappers,
favorites.
they're just throwing on so much gold and so much jewelry that it's just almost too much. So I think now the next thing is going to be to have these a little bit more of an acquired taste.
It's
a
just
little bit
it's
more
this next level of
artistic, yeah.
connoisseur. If you want
Right.
to do your research, I can
Right.
offer you something that is like on a level of execution where nobody has it. Literally, it's made and then that's it. You're the only one that has it.
Right.
That's that level of collectability.
Like, see, this is super cool. Like, and I've been looking for like.
That's a fun
new
one, right?
necklace. Like that's
Yeah.
like super cool.
That's a fun one.
You could have. There's just a lot that you could do with it, and I think it's hard to find unique pieces, and it'd be really cool to even
And that's the
Custom
faith and that's
ability of
the
it,
relationship and like the time that I've put in
It's way cooler,
over
yeah.
the years to like figure out like what works, what doesn't work, what's long term, like lifelong purchases, or like what I like to call like timeless pieces.
This-
You know, like for me, this was a very
Wearable?
timeless purchase. I know like this is just gonna gain value.
Functional.
Content on here is priceless.
Art.
The execution.
Look at that.
That's the faith you gotta come in here for, but that's why you come to me, you know? That you get to come in and you get to have that
Right.
faith where you buy you buy something that's like a really educated buy, feel comfortable with it.
So yeah, I mean, there's definitely a lot that we went over.
This is cool
And
too.
so-
Even being an independent.
You know what,
and
now-
offering your
okay.
own, like
Hold on.
layaway, that's incredible. I
Yeah,
didn't even know
well,
you had-
financing available.
But financing available like within on that like independent. That's very cool. You know.
So real quick, I'm gonna throw in just a couple of the general
Cool.
questions we had on the show,
There's the-
and then we'll see if Nick wants to say kind of just anything else,
They should get
and
along.
we'll kind of probably just wrap it up from there. But so just so that we do tie in some of these general questions, let's see, Nick, go ahead and tell us who's your favorite brand, big name brand, and then out of any resellers, Etsy, Depop, all that kind of stuff, do you have any resellers that are your favorite?
Okay, so the first one definitely Etsy. I just like the content on there. I feel like it's like very genuine. So when you do interact with somebody on there, I feel like the clothes that I get are like really cool, like really defined. I have always had really great unique experiences with Etsy, where I get like random stuff too, like really cool. I find like the most unique stuff on Etsy, I believe. As far as like brands go, I'm gonna give like a random one out there. My favorite brand is actually a wedding photographer, Kristen Wild. If you don't follow her on Instagram, you should. She's my favorite brand.
Is it just at Kristen Wild?
Yep, favorite brand right
Kristen
now,
Wild.
absolutely. And then I think as far as like the clothing, maybe it's like,
Clothing brand. Let's do one of that.
So like one thing that I've really been telling you is I'm into like hand painted.
Mhm.
You know, I think like that's the future. Another future of it is like we're gonna have this cross platform of media where, you know, it's like I wear this intentionally, like
Right.
you know, hand bleach and then you know space
Different brand? Can you come back?
yeah, space, yeah,
Ooh, shit.
yeah, Space Goth. She's like an artist I like. She does like pop art, but like she, you know, I think like the wearable art is that next level of like cross-platform media that we're gonna want to adopt to really be like expressive. You know, I'm gonna want to wear this with my pendant.
Mm-hmm. And these are super limited, right?
Yeah.
And how long did it take you to get one of these?
Well, I waited for a while to find one of my size. So.
Oh, okay. And they all sell out really quick too, right?
It's, you know, and like I've like her, you know what I mean? I follow her. She has like little rats, you know what I mean? Like I follow her as an artist, and like
As a person.
and I feel like, you know, like the stuff I preach, I practice, you
Right.
know, and this person meant a lot to me, enough to buy it, and I got a tattoo too.
Oh, okay, sick.
Show
Yeah.
the tat.
Yeah, no, I'm about it.
He's about it.
I think like the like one note I definitely wanted to like leave on is like this concept of cross-platform media presentation. You know, it's like this.
Yeah, I'm pulling just a little bit.
Like yeah, like just that level of connoisseur is gonna come in and just like want to have it all.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess with us being on the clothes and stuff like that, what's on your grail list?
Ooh.
For the people watching, just in case they might have it, what do we need to get Mr. Crespo? What's on his grail list?
Oh man.
Could be a Venti.
Damn, it is a band T. I didn't go to the Minus the Bear Planet of Ice tour. So yeah, something from that.
Okay.
So-
Is that yeah? Whoa.
Did everybody hear that?
Yeah, that's
So
just,
minus the bear.
yeah. I don't know. You just got me left field with that
Okay.
one. That one definitely got me left field.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that was a good one.
If you think of something else later,
Yeah.
just jump in. Okay.
I've definitely been, okay. So like all my clothing now, I'm really trying to focus on like knowing the person. So like, I'm vegan, so like my hat's vegan.
Yeah.
So like Ape and Bird, I pretty much am just getting all of my like fannies and hats from Ape and Bird because
Right.
I know them. I've like bought them. I know like all the where the material's sourced. Fuck with it.
It's the recycle
Yeah,
aspect.
yeah,
Just
yeah.
like with the shoes. Will you show
Yeah.
them real quick the shoes? They're super dope.
Oh, yeah.
Take them off. I'll fit.
Ah.
Alright.
These
Up
are
to the
like my
cameras.
favorites.
So everyone's gonna appreciate these. The Parlay Adidas. These are actually the NMDs. I haven't really seen these ones yet. These are sick though. All black.
the mint.
Yeah, with a little bit of mint. I've only seen the Ultra Boost in the all white, but yeah, these are super sick. They're made from recycled plastic bottles. If you don't know what they are, but yeah, this is a collaboration Adidas did with Parlay. Super dope. I've always wanted them. Crespo has
Oh,
them.
so
that was
comfy,
that was a recent grail he did acquire.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would say these, and
Yeah.
like I'm gonna get more.
Right. Cool.
All of them.
Cool. All right. Let's see. If you could, since you don't necessarily, okay, yeah. I guess if you could pop up and just go somewhere, anywhere in the world tomorrow to market, get your brand's name out, maybe even do a pop up, and you know everything's gonna go well. Where are you going?
Man, I think I missed it on the complex gone.
Yeah.
I think I slept so hard on that. If I could have been anywhere a week ago and been there, I think that.
So next year we're gonna have
I'm
to
gonna go.
Oh, here, come in. Next year, we're going to have to collab. We'll come together, and we're going to be at Complex Con. Also, I think
Maybe
we
Art Basel.
yeah,
Art.
that's coming up, right?
Yeah.
December.
Yeah.
It might be a little too late to get something going for that, to be honest. But we will be down there 100% this year. Come and meet up with us. But yeah, ComplexCon next year. Who knows? Maybe you'll see us out there. And then let's do this. What are your short-term and long-term goals with what you're doing, just in the industry you're in?
I think that like just a very pointed curatorship. I'm like excited to represent the artists that I do, and we want to like continue to rep them like well, and that's like also like moving their products. So having like a good understanding of like frequency with the people I want to like do business with. You know what I mean? Not like biting off more than I could chew, but I definitely want to put my best foot forward. You know.
Cool. Perfect. All right, well, that's it for those questions. Is there anything else you want to touch on before we go?
I don't think so.
Okay, cool. All right, guys, well, we appreciate you tuning in. This was episode 15 of World Thrift Live. This will be live for the next 24 hours on Instagram, and then, as always, it'll be on YouTube in about a week. If you haven't already, subscribe to our channel, catch up. There's 14 episodes on there for you to tune into now, as well as some style challenges. Tons of content, and of course, Mr. C. Lewis's music is on there. So why don't you guys go give that a listen, give him a follow. He's going back to LA on Wednesday. But guys, stay tuned. We got a lot coming up for you. World Thrift, Pipe Dreams, A-OK Family, Clue, Maddox. Just stay in tune, guys. We're bringing the synergy, we're bringing the culture together, and we really appreciate the support along the way. So thanks for tuning in.
I always got hit with a little ski, a little ski wild west. You always got hit with a ski wild.
Cool.
Did you save it too?
So it's on for 24 hours.
You already did it?